What's going on, YouTube? This is BBSP and shit. What's going on? I'm back. You know what I mean? I know it's been a while and shit. You know, a lot of things I need to catch up on. You know, certain topics I need to, just, you know, get out there and everything. Certain topics I want to get out there as far as like, certain things that's happening, in politics. You know, not so much politics because, to be honest with you, I just been so enthralled in my life. You know, trying to get my life in order and everything. I just really haven't been watching the news like I should, but I have been paying attention to some things and shit. You know what I mean? And long story short, I just wanted to catch up on some things. Sports wise and shit. Talk about some NBA. The season has started, a couple weeks back. A lot of teams got aspirations of winning all and shit. We'll break that shit down as far as like, actually what's going on in the league today, you know what I mean? And catch up on some things, you know what I mean? First and foremost, Denver Nuggets, man, they look like they pretty legit right now. You know what I mean? Joker is leaving off to what he did last year and shit. And of course, you had Jamal Murray playing at a high decent level until he got hurt. You know what I mean? And now it's being said that he might be missing a few weeks here. He may be missing a few weeks here and everything. So I don't know. Hopefully he'll get better and shit. Hopefully he'll be ready to go as far as actually going on a win streak. And they look pretty solid right now, man. Denver looks pretty solid. Denver looks like they're the best team in the league right now. You know what I mean? And they definitely want to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. They definitely want to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. People made a big assumption and shit that what do you call it? Bruce Brown, who went to sign with the Indiana Pacers, was going to be a big loss for them, right? But that team is way deeper than what Bruce Brown brought to the table. Way deeper than what Bruce Brown brought to the table. You understand? You still got Michael Porter Jr. over there. You still got Contavious Caldwell Pope. You still got Aaron Gordon. You know what I mean? You still got requisite pieces, and plus adding a mixture of young players over there to where, they're not going to miss a beat. They're not going to miss a beat, in my opinion. You know what I mean? They're nowhere near not going to miss a beat. And right now they're 7-1, 8-1, something like that, right? And my point is that for me it's like I think they should be the favorites right now, hands down, because you look at the Western Conference. The Western Conference right now is going through some transition. I mean, it's still competitive, but Denver, I think, is that much better right now. You know what I mean? And speaking of which, Phoenix Suns. I was very skeptical and shit about the Phoenix Suns and shit, right? Very skeptical, you know what I mean? I mean, just they're out here right now. They're out here playing very, very small, very small, very small, and it's like you get away with that shit for the regular season, you know what I mean? And and it doesn't surprise me that they're injured right now, you know what I mean? And the injuries are starting to take its toll on the injuries are definitely starting to take its toll and shit. And I don't know how much longer they can hold on. You know what I mean? They may get through the regular season unscathed, right? But for me, it's like they really don't have no bigs. Yeah, their bench is athletic. They have some scoring firepower off the bench and shit. But when Yusuf Nurkic is your only big and shit, Yusuf Nurkic is your only big, right? And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yusuf Nurkic is their only big right now. You know what I mean? And shit. Bobo has yet to play. I mean, I haven't watched any Phoenix games except for the ones on national TV. See, I don't have NBA League Pass. You know, I did back in the day, but not now and shit, right? So, yeah, I really need to. Somebody has to tell me, has Bobo even played yet? Because that's the only other big. You know, my point is that you got Devin Booker's that's missed games. You've got Bradley Beal. Yeah, even though he came back last night and shit, right? He came back, but he's missed like 1/3 of the season already. 1/3 of the season already. And it's like, okay, how much longer is this going to be a habit? You know, how much longer is this going to be a habit? You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, sooner or later, Kevin Durant, I'm not wishing this on dude, man. I hope he stays healthy and shit. But I'm just going by recent history. At some point, there's going to be a lot of wear and tear on him, and he's going to miss games. So I was very skeptical about Phoenix coming in and shit. Very skeptical about Phoenix, and I still am, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm just not sold on this team, man. Unless they make a trade for an actual big that can score and rebound, I don't think they're getting far. It'll be the same thing as last season. They'll get to the second round and or conference finals, and they'll probably get beat again by the Denver Nuggets. Because to me, they can't match up with Denver at all. Not right now. Not right now. You know what I mean? They can score in bunches, but Denver is a more disciplined team running Phoenix's system. I mean, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And, just speaking of which, real quick, James Harden got traded once again from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers. Now you have a supposed Big Four with James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. But I'm very skeptical on them. I'm very skeptical on them too. Very skeptical on them as well because look at the recent history. What would even be a suggestion that this will actually work? Just look at the recent history. Clippers blow a 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets in the 2020 playoffs, right? Then after that, it's just been one injury after another. Paul George has gotten hurt. Kawhi Leonard's knees can't hold up no more, man. You know what I mean? And last year was a perfect example. Next year, after the 2020 playoffs and shit, he got hurt. And they ended up getting sent home by the Phoenix Suns in the conference finals. Next year, they barely make the playoff. Kawhi barely plays, right? And they get knocked out of the playoffs. As a matter of fact, they get knocked out of the play-in tournament. Play-in tournament is when they got knocked out. Then the next year, same song, different dance. Same song, different dance and shit, right? They get to the playoffs. They give the Phoenix Suns everything they can handle, right? They give the Phoenix Suns everything and everything under the sun that they can handle, right? But after game 2, Kawhi gets hurt, Kawhi gets hurt, and that's it. It's a wrap. No more, no run towards the championship, nothing. It's over. And then you have Russell Westbrook. Yeah, his numbers look okay. Yeah, his numbers still look great. But we're not talking about the Russell Westbrook that was 2017 MVP or the even the 2021 Washington Wizards Russell Westbrook. And even then I said it was hardly no impact over there because they lost in the first round. Okay? Then you have James Harden, who's been a playoff underachiever ever since. He's been a playoff underachiever for a while now, man. You know, I mean, even some of the best teams he's been on, he's underachieved. You know, so what makes James Harden's move to this the Clippers what is going to make it any different than what it is now? You know, I just feel like they've peaked. The Clippers have peaked. And it's going to end the same way like this has been for the past 4 years for them, you know? The Lakers, I don't know what's going on with the Lakers, but it ain't good. And it's to the point now where they don't have no stability. There have been a whole lot of trades, whole lot of turnovers. LeBron is up there in age to where now you're not sure what kind of LeBron James you're getting night in and night out. Yeah, he had his moments early on in the season. But if you're expecting a year 21 player to carry a team far, then it's not going to end well. That shit ain't going to end well at the end of the day because, yeah, like I said, his numbers is great from individual standpoint, right? But they don't have the impact like it was, like they did when he was in his prime and shit. Which leads me to the Anthony Davis, man. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I really want to give him the benefit of the doubt and shit. You know what I mean? You know, I understand people have injuries and shit, but it's like with this dude, it seems like it's an everyday occurrence with this guy now, you know? And it seemed like ever since 2020, he's been trending downward. Yeah, he had his moments and shit, right? Yeah, he had a exceptional playoff last year, but that was the first time in 3 years he's been that productive in the playoffs. Everything's been injuries. Everything's been inconsistent play. He'll score 35 points one game, and another game he'll give you 16. This is why I don't buy into the notion that Anthony Davis is a top 75 player, man. Yeah, he had his some years where he was dominant. He was an all-star and shit. But guys like Tracy McGrady, guys like Bernard King, other guys like Vince Carter even, or even a guy like Dwight Howard, or even a guy like Artis Gilmore, all deserve a nod before AD. You know? I'm sorry. I mean, I know that may not sit well with some cats, but hey, it is what it is, man. You know? And even in New Orleans, he showed this kind of inconsistencies. You know? Back in 2018, right? Way back in 2018. When they did that Twin Towers thing with DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. They had one of the top 3 records in the West. Top 3 records in the West. AD goes down. No, excuse me. DeMarcus Cousins suffers an ACL injury, which after that injury, he was never the same. And they played 500 balls since. I failed to see the impact with Anthony Davis, man. I mean, it just ain't there. I'm sorry. It just ain't there for me, man. You know what I mean? He's not up there with Giannis. He's not up there with Joker. He's not up there with Embiid as far as, you know, actually having an impact on the team and carrying, not saying he got to do it all by himself, but it's about that time that he needs to step up and be the best player on that team. And it's been 4 years since. We've been waiting for 4 years, okay? So it's like, if not now, then when? This is why I think if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, that team is getting blown up. I'm going to touch more on the Lakers in my next video and shit. But, I'm pressed on time. A couple things and other things I want to touch on. Joel Embiid looked like he may win MVP again ever since James Harden got traded, you know. And I like that trade for the 76ers more than I do the Clippers because they got Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, and a couple draft picks back. And now you have balance, a nice, good, functioning team built around Embiid. Plus Tyrese Maxey is starting to become into his own to where he can get an all-star nod this year. So don't be surprised if Embiid repeats his MVP again. You know, the Knicks look okay, I guess. Though I think something is going on with Julius Randle, you know. To me, I think they should have kept Toppin in the fold, man. Letting Toppin walk was kind of a mistake on their part with the Knicks. You know, Milwaukee Bucks, you know, Boston Celtics quit, you know, work on them. Boston Celtics look like they may be the favorites in the Eastern Conference. So I know it's early right now, you know. I'm kind of not like what I'm seeing from the Bucks right now. I'm not like what I'm seeing from the Bucks. I mean, they got a small backcourt. You know, and I think that it's going to be very detrimental to them at the moment. You know what I mean? I understand Giannis and Dame really haven't played that many games together yet, and they're still trying to figure each other out. But then again, a lot of that depth with Grayson Allen and Jrue Holiday, even though I think Jrue Holiday is kind of washed, that was good depth to get through to the regular season. You know what I mean? Milwaukee, they need a 3-and-D and need a backup point guard in the worst way and shit. You know, a guy like Dennis Smith Jr., if he's still in the league, or Colin Sexton, or Lonnie Walker, though I think Brooklyn Nets is not going to give him away to another Eastern Conference contender, you know. But if I had to pick between the Celtics and the Bucks right now, I like the Celtics' balance and versatility over the top-heavy Milwaukee Bucks. But like I said, the Bucks just need to make minor tweaks, and I think it might be a different story come March and April, you know. But yeah, it's a whole lot of young teams, man, especially my Orlando Magic, man. You know what I mean? They're coming up. They're definitely coming up right now, you know what I mean? I like their direction they have, you know what I mean? I definitely like the direction they're going in, you know what I mean? Paolo Bakel's solid. Markel Fultz is solid. Franz Wagner, of course, is coming up. Though I think they got too many backcourt players, you know. I don't think Rail Black and Rail Howard and Anthony Black have seen the court because Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs have been very solid and shit, you know. But this is just part one of my breakdown and everything. I know there's other teams out there. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Chet Walker, OKC is solid. But I'm going to touch on that more later on. Let me know what you cats think. I'm going to hit you up in a minute.